What if everything you were taught about obesity was incomplete? What if it was never just about willpower, or calories, or motivation? If you or someone you love has struggled with weight, tried diet after diet, felt shame in doctors' offices, or blamed yourself for something that never fully made sense, this video is for you. Because right now, obesity medicine is standing at a turning point. Science is rewriting the story. Medications are changing biology itself. Policymakers are finally paying attention. And for the first time, the future of obesity treatment is about health, dignity, and real solutions, not blame. Before we go deeper, take a second to support this conversation. Subscribe if you care about evidence-based medicine. Like this video if you believe obesity deserves serious healthcare, not stigma. And comment below, do you think society is finally ready to treat obesity as a disease? Let's begin. Why the future of obesity medicine matters. Obesity is no longer a niche medical issue. It is one of the defining health challenges of the 21st century. More than 40% of adults in the United States already meet criteria for obesity, and projections suggest this number could approach 50% by 2030. Globally, the trend is similar, yet despite decades of public health messaging, obesity rates continue to rise. Why? Because obesity was misunderstood for far too long. The future of obesity medicine is not about telling people to eat less and move more. It is about understanding biology, hormones, food systems, policy failures, access to care, and long-term disease management. Obesity is no longer just about body weight or appearance. It is now one of the leading medical problems worldwide, slowly replacing infectious diseases as a major cause of illness and early death. What makes obesity especially dangerous is that its harmful effects may remain hidden for years, silently damaging the body before symptoms appear. Obesity is strongly associated with multiple serious diseases, including type 2 diabetes mellitus, coronary heart disease, CHD, certain cancers, respiratory disorders, especially obstructive sleep apnea, osteoarthritis affecting both large and small joints. These conditions do not develop overnight. Research shows that the harmful effects of excess body weight may take 10 years or more to become apparent. In this video, we will explore the most important shifts shaping the future of obesity medicine, including why calorie quality matters more than calorie counting, how ultra-processed foods hijack appetite and metabolism, why GLP-1 medications are only the beginning, the shift from weight loss to fat loss and muscle preservation, new therapies targeting energy expenditure, the movement toward disease-modifying treatments, and the massive access barriers threatening progress. Let's break it down. The end of calories are just calories. For decades, obesity care revolved around a simple equation, calories in versus calories out, but science has exposed how incomplete and misleading that idea is. Why ultra-processed foods changed everything. Ultra-processed foods, or UPFS, dominate modern diets. These foods are engineered for hyperpalatability, rapid digestion, low satiety, minimal fiber, high glycemic load. Research shows that people consuming diets high in ultra-processed foods eat approximately 500 more calories per day than those eating unprocessed or minimally processed foods, even when macronutrients are matched. This raises a critical question policymakers are finally asking. Why do ultra-processed foods override normal appetite control? The answer lies in hormones, gut signaling, reward pathways, and metabolic disruption. UPFS blunt satiety. Hormones like GLP-1 and PYY spike insulin and promote fat storage. Alter the gut microbiome. Stimulate dopamine pathways linked to addiction like eating. The future of obesity medicine recognizes that food quality is metabolic information, not just energy. Policy is finally catching up to science. For years, obesity science moved faster than policy. That is starting to change. Sugar taxes and behavioral impact. Emerging data show that sugar-sweetened beverage taxes reduce sales and consumption. While controversial, these taxes represent a shift toward treating obesity as a systems-level problem, not an individual failure. Congress and the Diabetes-Obesity Connection. With diabetes rates soaring alongside obesity, lawmakers are under pressure. Obesity is no longer seen as cosmetic. It is driving type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, liver disease, disability. This has forced policy conversations about food reform, pharmaceutical coverage, and healthcare cost containment. Industry pushback. The food industry has noticed the rise of GLP-1 medications and the so-called Ozempic effect, reduced grocery spending and decreased demand for hyper-palatable foods. Their response? GLP-1 friendly product lines, aggressive lobbying against UPF reform, framing obesity drugs as trends rather than medicine. The future will be shaped by this tension between public health and profit. The shift from weight loss to fat loss. Historically, the FDA required anti-obesity medications to show at least 5% weight loss over placebo. But weight alone is a crude metric. Why body composition matters. With medications like tirzepatide producing approximately 20% total body weight loss, clinicians are asking better questions. How much of that weight is fat? How much is muscle? What happens to metabolic rate? Loss of lean mass is not benign. Muscle is metabolically active, protective against insulin resistance, essential for aging, mobility, and independence. The future of obesity medicine prioritizes fat mass reduction while preserving or increasing muscle. New medications, targeting muscle and fat separately. Bimagrumab, a paradigm shift. Bimagrumab is a once-monthly injectable that increases skeletal muscle mass, decreases fat mass, improves body composition. It is currently being studied in phase 3 trials alongside semaglutide. This combination represents a new era, appetite suppression from GLP-1, muscle preservation and fat targeting from anabolic agents, repurposed muscle therapies. Medications originally developed for spinal muscular atrophy, such as apitegromab, taldefgrobep alpha, are now being explored for obesity treatment. This reflects a profound conceptual shift. Obesity is not just excess weight, it is dysfunctional tissue distribution. Increasing energy expenditure, the holy grail. If appetite suppression was the first revolution, increasing energy expenditure safely is the next frontier. Why this matters: current medications primarily work by reducing hunger, lowering caloric intake, but long-term metabolic adaptation remains a challenge. The body defends fat mass aggressively. True breakthroughs will come from increasing basal energy expenditure, enhancing metabolic flexibility, restoring healthy fuel utilization. Emerging areas of research: brown adipose tissue, brown fat. Brown fat burns calories to generate heat. Researchers are exploring pharmacologic activation, cold mimetic pathways, hormonal triggers, mitochondrial uncouplers. These increase energy dissipation, but safety remains a concern. Skeletal muscle metabolism. Muscle is the largest site of glucose disposal. Enhancing muscle metabolism could dramatically alter energy balance. GDF-15, a key signal growth differentiating factor 15, GDF-15, is an anti-inflammatory cytokine associated with appetite regulation, weight loss, metabolic stress. Signaling clinical trials involving GDF-15 are generating significant excitement as potential energy balance modulators. Obesity as a chronic disease, but without chronic medications. Obesity behaves like other chronic diseases. Relapsing, progressive, biologically defended. Stopping treatment often leads to weight regain. But the future looks different. Researchers are now pursuing disease-modifying therapies, not just symptom control. The goal? Reset appetite regulation, reduce pro-inflammatory adipose tissue, restore anabolic metabolism, learning from osteoporosis. Osteoporosis can be treated with annual injections, limited treatment duration. Long-lasting disease modification. Obesity medicine is aiming for similar outcomes, less frequent dosing, longer-lasting effects. Possibly finite treatment courses. This is one of the most hopeful areas of future. Research, access. The biggest threat to progress. Despite scientific breakthroughs, access remains the greatest barrier. Medication shortages. Demand for GLP-1 medications has far exceeded supply. Manufacturers underestimated. Public interest. Off-label demand. Chronic use requirements. Cost and insurance denial. Most anti-obesity medications cost over $1,000 per month out of pocket. Medicare does not cover them. Most Medicaid programs exclude them. Commercial insurers restrict or revoke coverage. This creates a system where only the wealthy can access care. The provider gap. Over 40% of U.S. adults have obesity. Less than 1% of physicians are certified in obesity medicine. This mismatch has created long wait times, geographic disparities, reliance on non-specialist care, the rise of commercialized obesity care. Private equity has stepped in via telemedicine platforms, compounding pharmacies, Metaspas, but quality varies widely. Some companies avoid the term patient, using words like consumer member. This language reflects a dangerous shift from care to commerce. The weight loss industry versus obesity care. The global weight loss industry exceeds $100 billion. Its incentives are misaligned with medical care. Short-term fixes repeat failures, constant re-engagement true obesity care aims for. Long-term health disease, remission, reduced complications until financial incentives shift. Progress will be uneven. Policy reform, a critical hope for 2024. One silver lining is policy momentum. Lawmakers are targeting pharmacy benefit managers, PBM, intermediaries that inflate drug costs and limit access. 5 major bills to watch. Pharmacy Benefit Manager Reform Act. Pharmacy Benefits Manager Accountability Act. Pharmacy Benefit Manager Sunshine and Accountability Act. Pharmacy Benefit Manager Transparency Act of 2023. Lower costs. More Transparency Act. These reforms could reduce drug prices, expand coverage, improve access to obesity medications. Policy may finally align with science. Conclusion: what the future holds. The future of obesity medicine is not about quick fixes. It is about respecting biology, valuing body composition over weight, treating obesity as a chronic disease, ensuring ethical, equitable access, aligning policy with evidence. We are entering an era where obesity treatment can be effective, compassionate, science-driven, but only if access, ethics, and education keep pace with innovation. Closing statement: obesity is not a failure of character. It is not a lack of discipline. It is a complex biological disease, and the future of medicine is finally beginning to treat it that way. Stay tuned.